Hey there, everyone. This is Debbie, and Debbie, your coach Nicole is so thrilled and happy for you. I just was wondering if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit about your journey, where you were before you started, where things are now, and the changes that you've seen.
Okay. Well, I've seen quite a few changes. I've been type 2 diabetic for over 30 years and also hypothyroid for 40 some years, 41 years, 40 years, I guess. And I just was, gaining weight and couldn't get rid of the weight and just was miserable. I just kind of put myself on the back burner for everything and taking care of, 5 kids and a home, a job, then my in-laws, then my parents. And it was just, so I decided that I needed to start taking care of myself. So that's why I saw you and I thought, well, let me join. And I really liked what you had to say. And I went ahead and did the toxin tests and was kind of surprised at some of what was came back, which was I was most surprised was the BPA. So I've been drinking water out of water bottles, for a number of years. And I'm thinking, why am I doing this? Why am I putting more of this in my body? So I started changing, and slowly adding those habits that you suggested in, getting rid of plastics, going to glassware stuff, and just, I got a machine for my water and just kind of, you know, step by step started making those changes. And I started seeing improvements right away. It was a little difficult the first month. It was just, getting off some of the foods because I kind of went off everything. I did not eat much gluten anyway because being diabetic, I did not eat breads very, very rarely and or that kind of stuff. I would try to stay away from that because I've been diabetic for so long.
What were some
But
of the quick changes you saw?
well, I started losing weight and it just kind of and then I just kind of then I my lack of inflammation. I used to wake up with my lower back every morning hurting, until I could get up and walk around and kind of work it out and everything. And that, all of a sudden it's like I'm not waking up with back pain anymore. So, and I could see the change in the inflammation in my face. And I just kind of felt like I was slowly gaining a little bit more energy, which I didn't have really much at all. I actually have now joined a gym, so I try to get in there a couple times a week at least. But I have stopped taking 2 of my diabetes medicine, the glipizide
Wow.
and the metformin. I'm also on an NPH insulin, which I have cut back on. I'd like to get off of that, and that's what I'm working on, but I'm still using a little bit, of that twice a day. But I don't have really any of the sugar cravings at all. I can be at a function where they're serving all sorts of cakes and stuff, and I'm actually cutting birthday cakes, and I'm not even tempted to have it because I just don't have that. I know what it did to my body, and I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
So my thyroid numbers are much better, and so I just feel better. That's for
Ha-
sure.
Have your blood sugar numbers
So,
improved as well?
they kind of go up and down. I finally got a continuous glucose monitor. I've been trying to get my doctor. Of course, I'm on Medicare, and Medicare doesn't cover that unless you're on insulin 3 times a day. So um, I just went out and purchased one. And so I'm seeing what it is that, spikes, where I can, what I eat and what raises my blood sugar. So I've been on it probably 3 weeks now.
Okay.
So that's helping because I can actually see in real time what I'm
Yes.
eating and what it's doing to my blood sugar. So that
And how
kind
much?
of deters you, so
Yes, absolutely. When you see that number rise, it does,
it's
you
just
figure
like,
it out really
oh,
quick.
I ate, I mean, it's basically I don't eat really any sweets. I'll occasionally have one of those coconut chocolate bars, the Unreal, you know. But for some reason, I've been kind of craving apples, so I'll have like a third of an apple, with some nut butter on it. And I can tell that the fruit will raise my blood sugars. So
Yeah, a lot
that's
of people think
probably
they're eating
one.
healthy.
Yeah, one thing that I notice is that, I mean, I try to stick to having berries, and that's what I have in the morning for breakfast is berries. Um, but I don't eat a whole lot of fruit. So
And how much weight have you lost so far?
I've lost 60 pounds.
Wow. That's
I
like a
still have,
person.
I still, have a little bit more that I want to lose. I'm still working on it, but I feel so much better and I feel more motivated to work toward that. So, that's helpful,
Yeah, I
So,
mean, 60 pounds, that's a small, I mean, that's a kid.
yeah, I know.
And have your friends and family noticed a change in
Oh
you?
yeah, they have for sure. They're probably tired of me trying to push them to it, but you really shouldn't be eating that, but it is,
And
so oh yeah, they've definitely noticed.
what would you tell that person who has heard from their doctor that this is all due to your age? What would you tell that person?
Well, it's not, because I mean, that's what you figure all these years, that's what it is. My mom had low thyroid for as long as I remember. My dad had his thyroid removed. My oldest daughter had her thyroid, she had thyroid cancer. My dad was type 2 diabetic, and I had a brother who was type 2 diabetic. Although my parents lived to be in their 90s, my dad was 97, my mom was 92, 93. Um, but my dad was very strict about his, diet. He once he was diagnosed, he stayed on it, pretty much. He was really good about it. So,
Well, that's
um,
fantastic.
yeah. So I
And
just want to, tell my kids, it's going to happen. you know,
yeah, you gotta do something now.
right, right.
And for that person who may be skeptical or they may be on the fence about what to do or to look outside traditional healthcare, what would you tell that person?
Well, I think that most of, I don't have a whole lot of friends, but I spend a lot of time with my family, my kids and my grandkids. And my, I think they know that, but they look at thinking, well, in reality, how do you really get rid of all that food? I said, well, you just have to make it a priority. It just has to be, because I think in the past I used food as, I would eat when I was bored, when stress, I was a stress eater. And, I'm finding that has changed because now I look at it whole differently as to what I'm putting in my body. What is this doing to my body?
That's
I don't
right.
want to go back to where I was.
That's right.
So I just want to progress better. So I
Well,
would just
I'm
tell
so
them it's it's not easy and there are things you have to give up, but it doesn't take very long for it to really say, for your body to tell you what you're doing is right, you know, and then you just kind of follow that.
yeah, yeah. Well,
So,
I'm so thrilled for your progress, and I know that you will just continue to see more progress and continue to see more medications drop off as
yep,
your
I'm
body
hoping.
heals. Yes, yes, there's no reason why that won't continue. So thank you for taking the time to do this. I mean,
Of
this is going to
course.
help someone. This is going to
I
encourage
hope it
someone.
does because it's really, some of the testimonials that I watched, helped me push to that. So, I just needed to do something for me, and that's what I chose to do. So there's
Well,
nothing more important than your health because you can't do anything else,
that's
if
right.
you don't have
Right.
your health. So,
That's right. That's fantastic. Well, thank you for
yeah.
taking the time and
Okay. Well, I appreciate
continued
it.
health. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.